And
Yeah,
I know that he's talked about putting the fun back in Florida football, like the old fun and gun.
well, we got good players. I really believe this year is going to be reminiscence of 1990. When I got here, we were preseason picked fifth in the conference, I think, something like that.
Pick
And
ninth now.
yeah, now we're ninth. Well, the conference was smaller when I was here, but we do have a lot of good players, and now it's time to go play, gain that confidence. We're just as good as the opponent, and now let's go play better than him, and we can win the games.
Another duly noted podcast comes to you from the Coach's Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Celebration Point. Okay, and welcome into another duly noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging and coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, which has been the epicenter of raising money over the last week or so. Different things that Coach has done, and that, of course, he had Tebow and Werfel here this weekend. They had an unbelievable event. Coach also went down to Tampa and raised money for Stephen Garcia's fund, raised some money for the Ronald McDonald House. I mean, we'll have Coach on. We'll talk a little bit about that. We want to talk some ball, of course, but he really does a lot for this community, and I know people appreciate him for everything he is able to do. Today he will be on. Robbie Andrew will be on for Yes, No, Where, Maybe. And then on Thursday, we're going to have two guests. You never know when you're booking somebody and then they say yes after the other person said yes. I double book, but that's fine. I love having both these people on. Andrea Adelson, of course, from ESPN and the ACC Network. And Judd Davis, the former Florida kicker. Of course, we'll talk to him about Trey Smack, how the success he's having, and also about the current kickers and how he thinks that everything's going to go there, because he knows better than anybody. So we'll talk to him about that. And all right, let's get to our money medals. Starting five. MoneyMedals.com is your home for gold and silver purchases, one of the largest distributors in all the United States. Two Gator grads are running it, and you can reach them at 1-800-800-1865 or at MoneyMedals.com. All right, number one on our Money Medals starting five is that Florida did have its second scrimmage on Saturday. I heard a few things from it. There was defense didn't play great. I've heard the offense played a little bit better. Offensive line played a little bit better. There's still a big competition at quarterback. I think we all know that. He could name a starter today. Who knows? But I don't think he will. I think he's going to wait till their mock game, which they're going to have on Saturday, when they want to go through everything and make sure everybody knows exactly what they want them to do, what is expected of you on game day. It might be different than what it was before. And you go through this, and maybe at that point they go, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start Aaron Philo. We're going to start Tramel Jones, whatever that is. But they're both going to play in the game. And you guys all know everybody's job's on the line here, so let's go out and play. Doesn't matter if you're a quarterback, left guard, coach. Apparently, Eric Singleton had another big scrimmage. He has been really, I think, the star of fall camp so far. There's been a couple other guys who are really good. I mean, Hezzy Kent got a touchdown. I saw that. But anyway, look, it is that time of year when you're kind of like feeling like it's almost Christmas, and you're ready to see what Santa Pat has left for you. But the truth is, it's not Christmas yet, man. We got a ways to go still. Try to enjoy the next week. You have a game Saturday. It is game week for the North Carolina Tar Heels. It's game week for the UNLV Rebels. It's game week for NC State. I mean, there are three decent games to watch. Maybe four. There's not a whole lot on week 0, and then week 1, it's even worse, to be honest with you. But it's college football season. We're ready for it. So we'll see how it goes going forward with the mock game that they're going to have on Saturday, and then it's Really game week. You know, my feeling is that game week starts at midnight on the Sunday before the first game is played for anybody. So I told you, I wrote this on my Patreon site. I'm off the game zero hill. I'm not going to complain about game zeros anymore, okay? I promise. It's week zero, that's fine. Even though there'll be teams that are 0-1, there's still week zero. But my point is, I'm just ready for football season to come, and I'm ready to see not only look. Obviously, I want to see what Florida is going to be, and what they do in practice is so important. But it's not always a great indicator of what this team is going to be, because you're practicing against your other players. You know, you're not going against teams that want to beat you or want to kill you. So we'll see. I can't wait until I get to, October 1st. I'll know a lot more about this team already by then, and that's what I'm looking forward to. All right, let's get to number 2 on our Money Medal starting 5, which is the latest injunction or whatever it is. I'm past the point of being fed up with this whole thing. My daughter started asking me about it today, and I said, I tried to explain it, and then I realized I was just making it more confusing. But the latest injunction that comes down says that you're not eligible. And I said this on this podcast when the first one came out and said everybody's eligible. It's 5 for 5 now. No, it's not. You're not going to know what it is until later. It's going to be probably a couple of months before we really know what's going to happen, whether Denzel Abernathy is going to be eligible or not. But, we all want that. We all think it'd be fair for that. I mean, Florida's basing it not on so much on the 5 for 5. They're basing it on the fact that he only played 40 minutes as a freshman. And he should be. I mean, you can redshirt in football if you play 4 games. Why can you not play 40 minutes in a 36-game basketball season and not be able to play? But, hey, look, I want him to be able to play. What I don't want is for all these other guys to be able to play for other teams. But and that includes, these different players, including Daquan Wright, who was in the Browns camp. They go, well, we're just going to cut you. You probably weren't going to make it anyway. You can go back at least. Well, you're not going to go back. You're going to go to LSU. You're going to jump, and boy, he's going to get booed when he shows up at that stadium too. There's going to be a lot of booing going on. It's going to be like a Deshaun Watson festival. There's going to be boos everywhere. But anyway, we'll see how all this works out. It's just the chaos just keeps. We thought the chaos would calm down. And it's just like it keeps multiplying. It's like the scene in 2001 where the monolith absorbs the planet, and just slowly the planet disintegrates because the monolith is taking it over. If you ever saw it, you'd have to see it to realize what I'm talking about, but that's what it feels like now. The craziness, the chaos is just taking over college sports, and every week you think it's starting to calm down, it doesn't. I hope that on Saturday, I'm just going to be able to sit there and watch football and not think about any of this stuff anymore and let it go until January, 25th is the championship game. Let it go until then. But it's going to be hard to. Anyway, we'll see what happens. All right, let's move along to number 3 on our Money Medals starting 5. And the only reason it's number 3, it could have been number 1, was that it is kind of a football kind of vibe right now. But the other football, what a win for Florida's soccer team on Sunday, beating FSU, the defending national champs, and the number 3 ranked team in the country, 3-1. First win against the Seminoles since 2015. It was just a huge win for this program. Set a Disney record for the stadium there, the Disney Stadium. Just a great day, and they actually were up 3-0 and then gave up a late goal. But wow, I did not see that coming. I will say that. I got to be honest with you, I didn't watch it as a result. I forgot kind of that it was on, and I'm watching golf and I'm watching some NFL stuff, and I just totally forgot it was on. Oh, I was watching the baseball game too, and then so I'm looking at Twitter, flipping through some Twitter stuff, and I go, what? Wait a minute. Florida did not beat FSU 3-1 in soccer, women's soccer. That did not happen. So let me find out where the April Fool's joke is. No, they did. They beat them, and that is a huge win for Coach Zimmerman and his program, and the belief that you can win. You got to believe it to win. So really proud of them. Anytime you beat FSU in any sport, let's see. Things to check off the box. Beat the defending national champ. Okay, we did that. All right, beat the number 3 team in the nation. We did that. Okay. Beat your arch rival. Yeah, we did that. Not let him even in the game. We did that. I mean, because really, that game was, once the second goal scored, it felt like Florida was going to win it. I'm basing on what I read, okay, because I didn't watch it. I have to be honest. But anyway, certainly good. It makes me, and I want to go back to the olden days when I say olden days, and when the 90s, 2000s, when Florida owned the Falls. They were great in football. They were great in soccer. They were great in volleyball. And it just, the fall was Florida's time. And I love that. But obviously soccer's fallen on bad times. Volleyball, with Mary Wise retiring I think they're going to be okay. They're coming back, but it's certainly hard for any coach to walk in behind a legend like Mary Wise. With Nick Zimmerman, it's a little bit easier because it hasn't been successful. They haven't been able to score. Now all of a sudden they're scoring goals in bunches. So big win for them, and proud of them, and that's always good when you beat the semis in anything. All right, let us move along to number 4 on our Money Medals starting 5, where you can get a great silver coin with a Gator logo on it. I've got one, and you need one too. All right, quarterbacks. We don't know who the Florida quarterback is for sure yet. At least I don't, right, as we sit here right at this moment. But we do know now that Alabama's figured that Keelan, it's not Keelan, it's Keelan. Somebody pointed that out to me. That's not the way you say it. It's Keelan Russell. The redshirt freshman will be the starter. So he won the job. He gives him, he might be really good, but man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough with just everything you got to deal with being the Alabama quarterback. And look, I know that's the way it is at Florida and Georgia and LSU. If you're the quarterback of a Power 5, and I not even blue blood, you can just be a kind of teal blood program where you're good. You've won championships. Doesn't mean you're one of the best programs of all time. And right now, Florida would be out of that. For a while there, they were. But anyway, the point I was trying to make was that when you're the quarterback of any of these major schools like this, the pressure's going to be there. It's how you deal with it, how you respond to it, how you evolve with it going on, all that. And do you have that belief that you can go win football games? You don't have to win them by yourself. You got to win them as an ultimate teammate. We just had 3 guys here all weekend, Danny, Timmy, Stevie, who won Heisman trophies, and they didn't win it because they were great. They were great, but they won it because they were great teammates as much as anything. So that's my 2 cents there. So he's the Alabama quarterback, and KJ Jackson is the Arkansas quarterback. Played a little bit last year. We'll see how it goes there. I did a thing for, actually it was for my Main Street Daily News column. Sometimes I have a hard time getting them all straightened out. But I do make them all different. Everything is different. I always try to make sure I give you something different. And that was the tiers of SEC teams. And the two that I give no chance to are Arkansas and Kentucky. Although everybody loves Will Stein. They think he's going to be really great. I just don't think they have enough good players right now. And I've seen their schedule. Not easy. All right. Let us move along on our Money Medal starting five. And again, that we just wanted to talk about those quarterbacks. More quarterback announcements will come forward as we go. But it is time to get to number 5, which on Mondays, as always, Steve and Christine Wendig present the Olympic calendar for women's sports. We always like to tell you what is going on with women's sports. And, of course, Steve and Christine Wendig over at Boss Art Realty do a great job there, and we appreciate them for being a big part of this show. All right, let's start with volleyball. Florida plays Nebraska. This is a big deal. It's a Thursday night, 8 o'clock on TNT. Of course, Nebraska is great, and they're playing this at the AT&T Stadium. So that'll be cool. That'll be cool. I mean, that's something I'll turn on. I mean, watching Florida basketball or volleyball on a Thursday night. Then Florida comes back on Sunday. And this is a big deal. It's good for recruiting and everything. Comes back on Sunday for its home opener against Stony Brook. The Nebraska match is actually an exhibition. But Stony Brook is the opener of the season for volleyball. That's at 1 o'clock in the O-Dome, or you can watch it on ESPN Plus, or I think it's SEC Plus, actually. And then when we get to our soccer team that we love now, we love our soccer team. JU at home Thursday. That's at 6 o'clock. Should get a big crowd for that. And then they have to go down to FAU on Sunday for a 1 o'clock match. So they're not afraid to go on the road and play some of these matches, in the state. Now, they didn't do well at UCF, but, we'll see how they do at FAU. So those are the big things that are coming up for women's sports, and should be really interesting. I noticed lacrosse is out there working hard, too. Everybody's practicing now. Everybody's going hard. This is students are all back. They've started class. My daughter dropped me off here before she went to her class. This is a time we love the summer because we kind of have free run of the city, but we really love this time of year because the energy is different, man. It is so different. It's about football, but it's about students. It's about just the energy of Gainesville, FLA. Once we get to this time of year, it's great. It's the best. It's why I've lived here for a million years. How many is it actually? 39? Almost 40 years? There you go. There's something you didn't know about me. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, the head ball coach will join us. We'll talk to him about a lot of things, including all the fundraising they did this weekend. And, of course, Robbie Andrew for Yes, No, Way, or Maybe. This is another duly noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging and coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios.
Give me 60 seconds and I'll show you why you should be buying silver and how to get started. Recent price spikes in groceries, healthcare, gasoline, steel, and lumber tell the story of inflation, as do raging bull markets in equities and housing. As the reality of all this inflation sinks in, investors will be acting quickly to diversify and protect themselves, their families, and their assets. That's why we're offering our Silver Starter Kit to help you get started in holding tangible wealth. This mix of our most recommended forms of silver includes 9 silver coins, totaling 4 troy ounces of fine silver. These pure silver coins have a low bid-ask spread, the difference between the price you pay to buy and the price you receive to sell. Low transaction costs are one reason Investopedia calls Money Metals the best dealer in America. Don't waste any more time. Start protecting your savings today with physical precious metals at moneymetals.com/go.
Adams Rib Company has been a staple of Gainesville for more than a decade and a staple of the Dooley house ever since Kelsey's teeth came in. The first time I walked into Adams, I told my daughter that the green beans are always a test of a great barbecue restaurant, and they were perfect. You know about the ribs that melt in your mouth, and my favorite, the turkey plate. But be sure to go in on Fridays for Nana's Fish Nuggets. They will melt in your mouth. Adams Rib Co., a Gainesville great.
Titan MRI, North Central Florida's premier independent diagnostic testing MRI facility. At Titan MRI, we're focused on you, the patient, having a great customer experience. Our MRI equipment is modern and 75% quieter than any unit in its class. And our MRI unit has one of the largest openings of any of the newer high-strength MRI units, which allows comfortable scanning for potential claustrophobic and larger patients. At Titan MRI, we look forward to serving you.
Okay, welcome back to another duly noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging and coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios. It is a Meldon Monday, and always we have Coach Spurrier in here on Meldon Mondays, and it's great to see him. You've had a busy week
last night
and weekend. I mean, all the stuff you've been dealing with.
Well, yeah, yesterday
we
we had Tim Tebow and Danny Warfel come to Gainesville. And the charity we were representing is called Isaiah 117. Of course, it's in the Bible, and it speaks about helping people who are oppressed.
Right.
And so this Isaiah 117, they help children that have no parents or they're in jail or something. They're on their own almost. So they give them a place to stay and eat, and give them transportation to school and whatever they need to hopefully have some type of a normal childhood going through high school, and they'll be prepared, hopefully, to help themselves along the way. They say 1 out of 5 children that have no parents like that end up being homeless people all over the country. So this charity is, they're out of East Tennessee, actually, right outside of Johnson City, Elizabethton, and they may get one started here. There's talk that we can get that Isaiah 117 in the Gainesville area.
I know that's the plan, that they want to
good.
get one started here, and you raise money there. You also had the card show over there too, and you had to sign a bunch of cards. I mean, that was nice of you to do that.
Well, that's they had a event at the sports complex here, and Danny and Tim and we threw a 5-yard pass to whoever wanted one. And signed, took some pictures, signed some cards and all that. That card business is a lot bigger than we all know.
I wish I had my old cards.
Is that right?
Back in the day when I was a kid.
So Tim, Danny, and I signed a bunch of cards and whatever. And hopefully it was a good day to raise some money for that charity.
Absolutely. And it certainly great causes all around. And we appreciate that. And had a big dinner here afterwards. And then tonight we have the anniversary dinner, so that's going to be fun. But
we've invited a whole bunch of friends to be here, my wife and I, and we've only been married 60 years in September. We're a little early, but this was the date. This Monday night was the date that almost everybody could get here. Not everybody, but almost a good bunch of people. So we should have 250 people here tonight. 200, 250, I don't know.
Well, Scotty's here.
Scotty, all 4 of my kids will be here.
Yeah.
And most of the grandkids will be here. So that's a good crowd right there.
That'll be a lot of fun. All right, let's talk about a little bit about football. We've got it coming up, and certainly the Gators are less than 2 weeks away. There is a game Saturday, noon o'clock from Dublin. So I feel like we're finally here. We're finally at football season now. They've had their scrimmages ready to go.
In the NFL, they got their preseason games going.
Yep.
So they're getting big crowds for preseason also. But, football is a sport that I think it's the best one to watch, because there's a play, something good, something bad can happen. Whereas baseball and some of those sports, there's a lot of dead time, especially soccer. I was trying to get into the World Cup, and there's just so much guys are just jogging around, and some games probably wasn't more than 2 or 3 shots at the goal.
Yeah.
So anyway, but footballers play every play, and people seem to really enjoy watching it.
I was watching baseball last night because I'm invested in it because the Braves are playing the Brewers, and they're 2 of the best teams, and I'm watching it. But they're interviewing guys during the game. I mean, like in the outfield, they've got it just seems like that's how much dead time you have in baseball. Is that you don't have to be paying attention.
Yeah.
But football, you better be paying attention, or you get your bell rung. And
Well, preseason they can interview coaches on the sideline while the game's going on.
I'm talking about during the game, while the player is playing in the outfield.
Yeah,
they're interviewing them, and it's a regular season game. It's not just like a exhibition. I don't know. It bugs me. It drives me crazy. Yeah. But obviously, we'll see what Florida is going to put out there. We'll see. I don't think any of us really know what's going to happen this year. We're looking forward to it. We feel like Coach Summerall's done all the right things. We feel like there's a sense of urgency. We feel like they want to get discipline back in the program. All that's great. You got to go out there, like you said at his opening press conference, just win some games.
A lot of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Coach Summerall and his staff have got the guys ready. Of course, everybody believes that at this time of year. But like you say, we got to go win and get in the habit of winning and hate losing. And that's what Coach Summerall has done in his background as a head coach.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, nobody hated losing more than you did. I mean, you were able to get that going. And sometimes I wonder if they cared about winning and losing the last few years, but obviously they need to get that done, and it'll start early and get it going. And I just want to see an offense that's fun to watch again.
Yeah.
And I know that he's talked about putting the fun back in Florida football, like the old fun and gun.
Well, we got good players. I really believe this year is going to be reminiscent of 1990. When I got here, we were preseason picked 5th in the conference, I think, something like that.
Pick 9th now.
Yeah, now we're 9th. Well, the conference was smaller when I was here. But we do have a lot of good players, and now it's time to go play, gain that confidence. We're just as good as the opponent, and now let's go play better than him, and we can win the game. Simple as that.
That's the thing. I mean, there's a couple of rosters you're probably not as good at. But it doesn't mean you can't win the game.
That's exactly right.
Only 11 out there at a time, right?
That's why it's a team sport. Yep. It's not an individual sport. So I think as far as the practices and the scrimmages, the offense has looked pretty good. I think Coach Summerall was saying our defense got to step up a little bit. That could be a good sign. And so when you play your opponents, that's when you find out just how good you are.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to be one of the questions is the secondary and how they I think they have good players back there. They just got to find a way to gel, and I think coaching is a big part of it. You know that,
Heck
Coach.
Yeah.
I don't think these were necessarily well-coached players in the last few years, but I do think this staff is going to be different.
Yeah, I hope we can get 11 guys on the field on punt
That's
return.
number one, yeah.
In fact, my son Scotty's here. He's special team coordinator with the Renegades this past year out in Dallas. They won their first 3 and then went on a losing skid, but they won the last one. So they salvaged a 500 season, and Ricky Neuheisel was their coach out there, and hopefully they can get it going again next year.
Did you get 11 on the field every time, Scott?
We would try our best.
You got 11 out there.
I asked that of the special teams coach at the first press conference. I go, has any Gator fans told you about how important it is to get 11? He goes, oh, yeah, I've been told about that. Because, you can't have it. Well, if it happens once, it happens once. But you can't have it happen 6 or 7 times,
I think they had, I'm not sure how they did it, but they had 3 or 4 maybe special team coaches.
Yeah.
Because there's so many guys on the sideline nowadays. And one guy didn't show up, and he said, why didn't he go out there? He said, well, I thought you were going to put him out there or something. But you got to have one guy in charge of special teams, and if they want to designate as they go, you do that. But that's, that's what special team coach, that's what he's anticipating punt or anticipating field goal. So he gets them all ready to go. So Scotty didn't have any trouble doing that.
You did the Zucker. Zucker was good for you, wasn't he? Coaching special teams.
Yeah, all the guys were pretty good. Yeah, we never had an issue of getting 11 guys out there.
And you had some of the best returners. I mean, when you think about it, Quez obviously was unbelievable. Keyone Ratliff was unbelievable. I mean, it just goes on and on. Guys just could make things happen, and I think it's a big part of the game. if it wasn't a part of the game, they wouldn't kick the ball, right?
Yeah, special teams could be the difference. One play there, offense and defense on both sides could break even. Now special teams kicks in to determine the winner.
And I do think that John Summerall has talked about this. He believes in playing his best players on special teams. If Vernell Brown III needs to be a gunner, he'll be the gunner to go down there and try to make a tackle.
Points. Yeah.
And I know you believed in that too, having guys. I mean, because you never knew who was going to be back there returning punts.
Correct.
But I don't know how much of the NFL you watched in the preseason. I know it's kind of hard to watch sometimes because you don't know half the players that come in the game. But it has been interesting, and the news it's come out of Cleveland today that Deshaun Watson's going to be their starter, which is a bit of a surprise.
You're kidding.
After he got booed off the field.
I was watching the replay of their preseason game. The announcers kept saying they should cut him right now and avoid any conflict and name Shadir Sanders the starter.
Yeah.
That's what the announcer was saying. And now Watson's going to be the starter?
He has been named the starter.
He had a difficult preseason game the other night. But
he didn't look good. He looks like a guy who's been out for a long time, with that Achilles. And Shedeur Sanders hasn't been very good either. I don't know. We'll see. But, I mean, that's who they had to beat out. And Dylan Gabriel, who's too short to play. And people are worried about Kyler Murray being too short to play. Just go play. Just go play.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for that, too, to start. I mean, we still have another week of preseason games, or I call them exhibition games because I don't like that.
Yeah. That's what they used to call them.
Yeah,
exhibition. They did. When I first went to San Francisco, 67, we played 6 preseason or exhibition games, and only 12 regular season. So the 6 preseason, I mean, we didn't differentiate. We're trying to win them just as bad as the other one. And I remember one year we're playing the Dallas Cowboys in Kezar Stadium. You ever been there?
I have been there, yes.
Seats about 38,000. Grass field, but not very well kept. But anyway, we got in a fight with them. A stupid preseason game. They hit a guy sort of laid out of bounds, and our guys, got in a shoving match during a exhibition game. But anyway, that was a long time ago.
You see this happen in joint practices where all of a sudden guys are fighting and they're, but it's a physical game, and I guess. But, it does seem kind of weak to be able to do that. But I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I don't know how much of the golf you watch this weekend. It got to be boring, then it got exciting, then it got boring again. But,
Wyndham Clark hung in there.
Now, is he the player of the year? Because he won the Open. He won.
That.
He's won this tournament. He won another tournament.
I bet they give it to Scotty Scheffler because he's finished second about 5 or 6 times, as well as 2 wins this year, or maybe just 1. I'm not sure. But
I think if Scotty, I think the winner of this between those two will whoever wins the last East Lake will win it. But I tell you one thing: when you've been watching golf all year like I have and you have, I know. Man, when they get on these really nice greens, these guys don't miss a lot.
They don't miss makeables.
Yeah.
If it's inside 10 feet or so, they usually, not always, but they make their share, definitely. Yeah.
I actually made a birdie putt yesterday and won some money. So I came home and threw a couple of 20s down.
Really?
And told my wife, I go, that's what I did today. What'd you do?
Yeah. And I know we're all hoping the Ironwood ownership, I don't know, that's not settled yet, is
Still
it?
Up, no,
still up there a little bit.
It's going to be a while. Yeah.
Hopefully get that course in good shape, ready to go. Yeah.
It's not that bad. If they can just get the money put in to make it, way better. It doesn't have to be great. It's just got to be good, or even average. But hopefully that'll work out. All right, we need to get to our Campus USA play of the weekend. We had a lot of options. Now we're that time of year. We got a lot of options. This is a ball that's hit pretty deep, and it looks like it's going to be a home run. But who's that going up and getting it? Jacob Young, former Florida Gator, with the great catch to rob the Mariners player of. And Jacob Young was a really good player. Florida I think still has the longest hitting streak in Florida history, but he's become an elite center fielder. And that's what Florida's always been known for, is having really good center fielders.
Gee.
But he climbed,
Gee.
he climbed
He
the
climbed
wall.
the wall.
That was a great play. And we, hey, look, all these Gators that are out there, there's so many playing baseball, more than any team since 2008, I think, is Florida. So they've done a really good job. Sully has done a good job. Sully spoke to the team. I know Jenny Rowland spoke to the team. They had Mouse over to speak to the team.
JC was there.
They brought them all in. And the messages, I love the messages. The message is, hey, look, you guys decide how good you want to be. How hard do you want to work? Do you have that work ethic? Do you have commitment? Do you want to be the guy next to you? Be accountable to him. You decide that. And I think that's the kind of message you taught these guys back in 1990 when you came here.
Well, most coaches do attempt to preach that, and then there's some coaches that really enforce it. And I think Coach Sumrall, there's not going to be any lackadaisical, So that's why he's got a track record for coaching, the 3 conference championships out of 4 years. And I just got a feeling our guys will be up there fighting to win the SEC this year.
Could be, yeah. And look, there's no reason they can't. Look, they play the same number of games as everybody else.
We get 11 on the field, and they get 11. That's what
right.
I had to tell my Duke players way back, too. And those Duke players, they played great effort. I tell you what, for them to win the ACC the year before I came here was, it was effort on their part. And we had one guy that got drafted, Clarkson Hines, the wide receiver.
He's a good player.
But the other guys, one or two, one lineman got drafted, but that was it, really.
So you did something that nobody's done, and technically you could say this, that nobody's ever done, which is win a conference championship at Duke and then one at Florida the next year. And Florida never won one that counted. And that one didn't count theoretically, but it was, you guys know what you did. It wasn't anything you did wrong.
No, it was that story. I think our fans mostly know it, but there was no penalty on Florida when the season started. And then in the middle of the year, the infraction committee said, these guys have done nothing wrong, so why don't we just say they can't go to a bowl game? So that year, the Sugar Bowl said, we'll take your champion. So the SEC said, well, you guys can't be called champion because you can't go to a bowl because of that penalty. And I said, well, we're going to win it anyway. You can call us whatever you want to, but we're going to try our best to win it. And that's the players on that team. I told them, if we win it, you'll always be SEC champs in my book, and I'll get to talk a lot about it. And so they're okay. They know they won it, and they don't have to give us credit. They don't have to give us credit for the other 6 we won either, if they don't want to. So we knew we won it, so we know that 90 team won it, fair and square.
You got the rings, right? Yeah.
That's exactly right.
How many rings do you have? Are they all in here?
Could be, but we won 6 after that, 5 in the next 6 years. Danny Warfel, Terry Dean, Eric Ratt, great defensive players. So it was a good run we had there. And ironically, some of our best teams, like 98 and 01, we had that one loss toward the end that knocked us out of everything.
Yep.
But those guys could have won a national championship. If there was a playoff.
If there was a playoff, I wonder how many you would have won. Because if you think about it, you would have been in all but, well, again, it depends on
at least
they
8
want to
of
count
12.
1990.
Yeah, we finished in the top 10, 9 of 12 years. So at least 8 or 9 of them would probably.
You'd have won a couple more. At least.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, Coach, you got anything else for us?
Oh, that's about it. Can't wait till this Saturday.
Georgia Tech. I'm not Georgia Tech. North Carolina and TCU are playing. So we'll see if Belichick has anything left to throw out there.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Over in England, right?
That's in Dublin, actually.
Dublin, that's right. Ireland. Yeah.
And then you have a late game, but I don't know if I'm staying up to watch Memphis and UNLV. Is that going to do anything for you?
Where's that at?
That's at UNLV, but it's 10 o'clock game.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of past our
Maybe
bedtime.
watch first quarter or two.
That's right.
Who knows?
That's what I'll do. Yeah, if people are over at the house, we'll watch it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Robbie Andrew for Yes, No, Where, Maybe. Always great to have Coach in here, and always great to see Scotty as well. And we'll be back with more of another Dooley Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, and coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, two things haven't. Our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
You know, with the new football coach in town, everybody's talking about what it will take to build a winning program. Well, here's one thing we know. It takes more than just great offense. You need disciplined offense, a defense, a special teams. Miss one of those, and you're probably not going to have the season you hope for. Same thing is true when it comes to losing weight and improving your health. At BMI TeleMed, we call it the three-legged stool. The first leg is a GLP-1 medication when it's appropriate. It's a powerful tool, but it's only part of the game. Second leg is your medical team providing individualized coaching on nutrition, strength, training, sleep, and healthy habits. And the third, and maybe the most important, is you. Your commitment, your consistency, your willingness to stay with the game plan. With these three pieces working together, that's what success looks like. Not just losing weight, but improving your health and keeping the weight off. Kick off your weight loss by calling BMI TeleMed at 727-383-1677 to schedule a free consultation. Okay, welcome back to another Dooley Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios. It's always great on a Meldon Monday to bring on our good friend Robbie Andrew, courtesy of the Big Mills Cheesesteaks Zoom line, to play Yes, No, Where, Maybe. Robert, how are you today?
Hey, Pat, always good to see you.
Did you watch any NFL preseason action yesterday?
No, not a single minute. But I do have one observation from the weekend, Pat.
What's that?
That in my mind, I think Scott Strickland should be commended for the energy he's brought into the overall athletic program with his hires. I mean, I watched some of that soccer game, and that coach Zimmerman, is that his name?
Yeah, Nick Zimmerman.
He's brought so much energy to that program, has a fire in his gut. And you could tell those players love playing for him, and they played so hard and, beat the number 3 team in the country. And you look at his other hires, women's basketball, Summerall, they're all energetic guys that have it in their gut and brought energy to the program. I think we're going to see, more of this coming down the road here in other sports.
Yeah, well, I mean, people love to blast him when they don't like what's going on. So, yeah I agree with you, though. I think, but now, look, has he made mistakes? Sure.
Sure,
but
we all
I
do.
think, but I think I agree with you. And we had Tammy Reese on the podcast, and she was unbelievable. I was ready to go play basketball for her. Todd Gold has been pretty successful here a little bit. Yeah,
unbelievable. But I think we know now who Strickland targets, guys, coaches with energy that are confident and instill that in their players and in their program.
Yeah, and that's, I think, is the key. You can't win if you don't believe you can win. So
exactly, yeah.
I think that they've done a really good job of that. All right, it is time for us to play Yes, No, Where, Maybe with the great Robbie Andrew, brought to you by Big Mills Cheesesteak. Street dining done the right way over there. If you go in there and say, hey, I listened to Robbie on Yes, No, Where, Maybe, you get free French fries with your order. I almost said that like I can't think of his name. Sylvester, the cat.
Oh, yeah.
Free French fries with your order. Suffering succotash. All right, number 1, Robbie, on Yes, Nowhere, Maybe. QB1 for the opening game will be QB1 in Game 12.
That's a great question, Pat. And I think the only answer to that is it's got to be a maybe. I doubt it. I mean, I think Philo's going to start the season based on more experience in the offense. But I think if you read the stuff coming out of what's been going on, I think Tramell Jones has a bigger upside athletically, talent-wise, throwing the football. So, I think it may be a matter of time before Tramel Jones eventually takes over. I don't know, through injury or from a poor performance from, but I just think it's going to be a fluid situation. I mean, who starts the opener doesn't mean a whole lot, I don't think.
Well, not only that, you can't
that's a
tell me.
competition that's not going to end, Pat.
Yeah.
It's going to go on every day.
I agree, unless somebody just totally takes it by the horns, and says, "I'm going to be a elite quarterback."
The good thing for Florida fans is Summerall thinks both are good enough to win. You win with them, so I think the position, not a lot of experience there, but at least a good upside for both.
Well, and the other thing is, you have no idea who's FSU's quarterback's going to be by then. By game 12, because guys get hurt, guys play bad. The fans want a different quarterback. They always love the backup, And I don't know if that is something that they've tried to stay away from, but it's going to be there where the fans are going to say, we want the other guy in because he's not making the mistakes that this guy's making because this guy's playing all the time. So
like the old cliche, the backup quarterback's the most popular guy on the team. So, and it's a long season, Pat, a tough schedule. A lot can happen.
A lot can happen. There's no doubt about it. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be anywhere, to be honest with you.
No.
All right, number 2 on yes, no, where, maybe for Robbie Andrew. I asked Coach Spurrier about this. I'll ask you about it. Wyndham Clark is the player of the year on the PGA Tour.
I'm going to have to go with another maybe on that one, Pat. I would lean toward him only because he did win a major, the U.S. Open, which is huge, and Scheffler did not win, a major this year. He got shut out. But Scheffler's year has been pretty impressive. But I think if Wyndham wins the tournament players thing this week, I think you've got to make him the player of the year in the PGA Tour.
Yeah,
to me, the big thing is the major. He won the U.S. Open. He gave up the lead and he fought at the end, and just like he did yesterday. He wasn't playing great, but he found a way to win in the end, and he did that, at the Open.
Well, and that's the thing is that I think I would bet right now I'd vote for Clark, but if Scheffler won next weekend, I would probably vote for Scheffler because he had a great year and he was right up there.
He did.
But he just didn't win.
Yeah, Pat, I agree with you. I think if one of those guys wins this weekend, I think you go with them because this is their ultimate event of the year, their championship.
It is. I mean, to me, it's like to me, there's only 4 majors, okay, and then there's the Players and there's the Tour Championship. So that's 6 really huge, giant events. Yeah. But I think they should. I don't want to say they should all be weighted the same. But the weight differential shouldn't be that big, I think you need to. I mean, it is a major is bigger than the Tour Championship, but the Tour Championship's still something.
But you know what I definitely like more about the Tour Championship now is they changed the format. Before it was like you came in, it wasn't like it should be like the Super Bowl. If you get there, everybody starts equally, and the winner wins it. And before it wasn't like that. It would Scheffler would have like a 5-shot lead starting the tournament. So. I didn't like that. I like it now where everybody starts the same.
Yeah, it would be like starting the Super Bowl and the Packers are down 18, And, it's just, I never liked that whole plan. It kind of made me not want to watch it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was the same way, Pat. I'm so glad they changed it.
All right, and finally, number 3 on Yes, Nowhere, maybe with Robbie Andrew. Robbie, you will crack one open at noon o'clock Saturday.
Pat, did you really have to ask me that one? I mean, you know the answer. Absolutely, yes. It's a tradition, And we had morning drinking. I had morning drinking for the British Open, and now this will be officially afternoon drinking because it's a noon kickoff. So, yeah, I'll definitely do that. And how long I last, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Roll the dice.
You may not make that 10 o'clock Memphis UNLV game. So.
But actually, I'll try to do that.
I'm going to try to watch some of it,
Yeah. The key, Pat, is to pay.
I was just going to say, the trouble is you don't have any early night games, like a 7 o'clock. There's games, but it's like FSU's playing New Mexico State. I don't know that that's going to captivate me.
No, but I'll watch it just to check out FSU. But you have to pace yourself. Maybe get a nap in there at some point and try to get to that 10 o'clock game
Sometimes I
because you want to see Mullen's team and see what he does.
Yeah, and not only that, but Memphis under their new coach, because obviously Silverfeld went to Arkansas. So,
Yeah.
All right, Robbie, we'll let you go, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Should be a fun weekend. I'll see you this afternoon, Pat.
I may see you. I may also see you Saturday. I may come by and watch the first game with you.
Okay, you're invited always.
You didn't sound too thrilled about that.
No, I said you're invited always. That's about as thrilled as you can get.
Okay. All right, Robbie. I'll see you.
Okay.
See you tonight.
I'll see you. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Always great having Robbie on. Always love having him on for Yes, No Way, or Maybe. And I actually will play. I think we'll play it with Judd on Thursday. So, all right. Let us move along. Let's get to our Adams Ribco Gator of the weekend. It is brought to you by our friends at Adams Rib Company. Place to go for all your barbecue needs. Our Gator of the weekend, yeah, it came from soccer. You know, dang right it did. I was trying to figure out which one to make, but I ended up going with Kira Taylor. 2 goals. Had the first 2 goals of the game. Match, call it whatever you want. And Florida to help Florida win. She's done that. That's 2 straight matches where she's had the first 2 goals of the game. It's pretty impressive. So it is so much fun to watch skilled soccer athletes do well. I mean, and score goals. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy watching that. So anyway, she is our Adams Ribco Gator of the weekend, brought to you by Adams Rib, Kira Taylor. And still holds. I'll buy you lunch. You want to meet me there. That seems creepy, though, doesn't it? Hey, if you want to be there, I will meet you. All right, let's move along to our Leonardo's of Millhopper quick pick. We're going to give you one for this weekend. Some of you did good this weekend. Some of you didn't do so good, and that's kind of the way it always is. We're getting ready to make a pull pretty soon to get $25 at Leonardo's of Millhopper. So here's what we're going to give you. The Braves and the Dodgers are playing 3 games, Tuesday through Thursday. How many games did the Braves win? Very simple. Anybody who says 3, I will give you full credit for. No, I'm not going to do that. That would be unfair. If it was 3, I would be very happy. I can tell you that. They did sweep the Dodgers last time they played them. We'll see. But so it's either 3, 2, 1, or 0. Send it to patrickdooley54@gmail.com and just send it in. Have it in by Tuesday evening, And if you don't, then just say, well, I'm only going to pick the last 3 games, or the last 2 games. That's fine. All right. So that'll be our Leonardo's and Millhopper quick pick. Let's get to our Gallo Car Wash. Sponge of the weekend is brought to you by our friends at Gallo Car Wash, place where we get our cars done. We appreciate Gallo Car Wash so much. Our Gallo Car Wash sponge of the weekend is Max Johnson. You remember Max Johnson? His dad played for the Bucks, won a Super Bowl for him, played at FSU as well. Well, he's played pretty much everywhere. And he has been named the starter at Georgia Southern. I had to look it up. I totally blanked on it. Georgia Southern, he's been named the starter. This is his 4th team to start for in college football. It's his 7th year. And meanwhile, Denzel Aberdeen is being told he can't play a 5th year. Explain this to me, please. Your rules make no sense. But anyway, Max Johnson's soaking it up, man. He's having the college experience. 4 different teams he started for. And he's not the first guy to do that. There's been a lot of those guys that have been able to do that. But it is the way it works, and that's how you become a Gallo Car Wash sponge of the weekend. Let's move along to our BMI TeleMed Overachiever of the weekend. BMI TeleMed, your weight loss specialist, achieve and maintain. Give them a call at 727-383-1677. Tell them Pat Dooley sent you. You get a discount on your order. BMI TeleMed. All right, our Overachiever of the weekend, and I'm saying this facetiously, is Bryce Miller. Now, I don't know if you know who Bryce Miller is. He pitches for Seattle. I was not aware that he was going for a record, but he got a record. He is the first guy since 1816, I think it is. It's 136 years. No, not 1816. 136 years is how long it's been since somebody pitched consecutive games where they lost by 17 or more runs. That's not a good thing to have. You don't want to have that. You don't want to have that on your record. But he's got the record. And that's why he is our overachiever of the weekend, because not everybody can do what he's done. Losing by 17 or more runs twice in a row? Come on. Okay, we are going to get to our Hesser and Kipke 3 things right now. Hesser and Kipke, with over 50 years of combined legal experience in North and Central Florida, Hesser and Kipke is your place for bankruptcy, workers' compensation, and family law. Call or text Ken and Jennifer at 352-339-9920, Hesser and Kipke. Okay, well, breaking news on our Hesser and Kipke 3 things, because this is the thing about when you do a podcast this time of day. We have breaking news because things happen, and we've talked a lot about it, but now we know what it is, because multiple sources are coming out, including Pete Thamel, and saying that Aaron Philo will be the starter for Game 1. I don't think anybody's surprised by it, and I don't think it means he'll be the starter in Game 12, going back to the question we asked Robbie. But I do think, look, he's got a leg up because he knows the offense a little better, and I don't think that – I don't get the feeling that either one separated themselves, and maybe that's a good thing and maybe it's not. You know when we'll know? October 1st. By then, we'll know whether Aaron Philo is that ready. So he will be the starter. Well, good for him. Hey, look, I figured he would be. So everybody get behind him and let's see what they can do, and know that Tramel Jones will also get to play. So that's number one, our Hesser and Kipke 3 things. It's certainly very important news. All right, let's get to number 2, which is certainly not good news, and that is what happened with Ed Oliver's 2-year-old son drowned in a pool. Family members found him, and obviously everybody is distraught. This happened a month ago, so I'm assuming that he was in some kind of coma. I don't even want to talk about it, let alone get it wrong. So let's just say our prayers go out to Ed Oliver, really good player, but that's not the reason. All our prayers go out. You never should have to bury a child, and that's tough for that family. And I know the Bills have reacted heavily to it as well. Okay, and let's get to number 3 on our Hesser and Kipke 3 things, which is the boos for Deshaun Watson. We mentioned these earlier, but I wanted to talk about them. The weird thing is that Deshaun gets booed, and these were fans who most of them had left when they had a lightning delay. It wasn't very many in there, but they were loud, and you could hear it, and you were literally going, "Are they booing him?" Or I guess they know all the background. Well, the background is he got in trouble, still got a huge contract that they've had to eat, and so they don't like him. They don't want him to be the quarterback, and even after the game. Their coach says, "Hey, look, I don't listen to that crap. I'm not worried about him." And then he names him the starter today. So it's a weird dynamic. There's a reason why the Browns are never successful. There is a reason. It's just badly managed. But that's okay. That's their problem. It's not a us problem. All right, that's our Hesser and Kipke 3 things. Let's move along to our Mark Gaida Presents the 12, brought to you by our friend Mark Gaida at Pepin Realty. He does a great job over there at Pepin, and we always try to come up with something inventive, and we came up with one here. Well, I mean, somebody else came up with it, and I stole it. But this was, in the last 6 years, the 12 dirtiest teams in college football. Can you imagine who might be among those? Now, this is based on number of penalties, how grievous they are. and all that. So it's a statistical thing, but I still thought you'd find it interesting. So let's get to Mark Gaita presents the 12 with our 12 dirtiest teams in college football over the last 6 years. Number 1, UAB. What was that getting you? Not helping. 2, Toledo. Holy Toledo. Number 3, New Mexico. And at this point, you're kind of going, I don't really want to read this list anymore. But we're now going to get to some Power Fours. Pitt, number 4. Not surprising there. Number 5, Utah State. Number 6, your Miami Hurricanes. Yes, they do have a lot of penalties. And they don't care either. Number 7 is North Carolina. Discipline. Well, now, it's over the last 6 years. Okay? Belichick's only had 1. Number 8, Mississippi State. Number 9, Tennessee. Now, again, a lot of that blame goes all the way back, I guess, to Butch Jones and Jeremy Pruitt, whoever you want to blame. Blame somebody. Number 10, UTSA. Number 11, Southern California. That's not surprising, to be honest with you. And number 12, Ole Mississippi. Ole Miss is number 12 on the dirtiest teams in college football. You know who's not in there? In the top 12? Your Florida Gators. You know who is? You know where they rank? 64th. Now, we sit here and we go, these teams, they're getting too many penalties. Well, apparently they don't get that many. And I know that there was a point last year where they cut it way back and then they kind of went back to it towards the end. But anyway, it's just a stat. I saw it, throw it out there for you. But dirtiest teams in college football. Mark Gaita presents the 12. All right, let's wrap it up as we always do with our Swamp Games of the Week. Coming up here, brought to you by the Swamp Restaurant, the place to go to watch all the games and have great drink and food specials. It is the place to be for games this weekend, man. Maybe we should go there at noon o'clock to watch the game. That has potential. All right. I'll just give you this real briefly ahead of time. 4 Thursday NFL preseason games, 10 Friday games, 2 Saturday games, just so you know. Just so you can prepare if you want to watch any of them. When we get to the weekend on Thursday, I will tell you where the state teams are playing, what time they're playing. All right. Baseball, Tuesday, Dodgers at Braves, 7:15, TBS. Wednesday, Dodgers at Braves, 7:15, MLB Network. Dodgers at Braves is a big deal this week. And then also Wednesday, Toronto at Wednesday, WNBA, Toronto at Seattle. That's at 10 o'clock on USA. I don't think anybody's staying up to watch that. But you may, and if you do, you do. So that's about it. It's pretty slim pickings this week. Watch the Braves, watch some NFL on Thursday night. But we're about to get to a point where all I'm going to do is tell you, how do I leave out this game? I can't leave out this game. There's too many games going on. How do I leave anything out? It's getting to be Christmas, okay? We're almost there. We're almost at Christmas, and we'll be there soon. And when we do, I will still be Pat Dooley, and I will still be deep, way back, and I will be out of here.